Hi, welcome to our web design process blog post. My name is Rhett, DeMille, and I'm the owner and founder of PalmettoSoft. I also wrote the post with the help of my team, and it is really the culmination of about 18 years experience in the field. I've personally been involved in the building of over 500 websites, and during this time we have learned a lot. We've made a lot of mistakes, and you'll see those mentioned in the caution boxes. Please pay attention to those because they are like anecdotal little nuggets that you can use to avoid a major problem in your career. You know, use what we've learned, please, for your advantage. And as you read through it, I think you're going to pick up some very interesting material. If you're an advanced web designer, you may or may not agree with everything that you read. So whatever your opinion is, please comment below. I'd like to hear what you have to say, and I'll also comment as well. One of the things that's important to note is that in about 80% of the cases on every website design project, 80% of the time the client will deliver content late. Content being defined as typically copy, images, PDFs, videos, basically anything between the header and footer of the website that they are responsible for. Now, we do have copywriters that work with our clients, but the copywriters still have to work with the client to get their inputs and feedback and approvals. And once again, the time duration, the extension that tends to happen during the content collection process. So please be aware of that. And this is also one of the reasons why websites tend to cost so much. And people wonder, well, why does that website cost so much money? And it's because typically what seems to be a 2-month project tends to be a 5 to 6 month project. In addition to that, you're going to notice what you may also notice about our process is that it is a step-by-step linear methodology. I'm using some big words right now. If you're a developer and you follow the software development lifecycle, or SDLC, we have what's called the waterfall method. That's what we are using. It's an older style of development, but basically it is premised upon we don't start the next step until the previous step has been signed off and agreed upon by the client. That's very important for a couple of reasons. At the very end of the project, the client has been working with our development team the whole time, so there's a very comfortable relationship that has been gained during that process. The client also understands all the work that we have done in their website, so this is very transparent. They also tend to be very happy because they've contributed all the way through the process to the finished product. So a lot of great things happen when you work like this. In the event that something such as a scope change occurs, and that scope change being something that is not mentioned in your web design proposal from the client, such as a major change in the scope of the project, the client adds something huge. We did not note this in depth, but what we do is, let's just say that the client adds a page of videos in their website that was not previously determined. Well, okay, hypothetically this page has 10 YouTube videos and they have to be formatted and the page has to be built, and let's just say that this page costs, I'm going to make up a figure, $1,000 to build. We would do what's called a change order. We would create a change order with my team based upon the client's requirements. We would then send the change order back to the client, have them look over everything, approve it, and we would bill 100% of the change order cost in real time. By doing that, it compensates everybody in your team for an already extended project timeline, because you can imagine when a client extends something in the project, it's going to make that timeline or that launch date extend in the future. So by having the client pay up front for the change order, call it version 1. Following ones would be version 2, version 3. By having them pay for the change order up front, it accomplishes 2 things. It keeps all your people paid that are working on the project, keeps them happy for an otherwise extended project. It also tells the client in a very nice way, hey, if you keep doing this, we're going to keep charging you. So it tends to stop the behavior of what's called scope creep. It stops that phenomenon from happening as much. And when you mention it in the beginning of your web design proposal and during your sales process, a client already knows what it is. So when it does happen, they tend to be very acceptable and agreeable to the terms of it. So keep that in mind. Be professional, always communicate, and I like to, every couple of days, talk to the client by email, let them know what step they're in, and just keep that constant, communication going on with them. Don't let things go too long without speaking to each other. Don't let things go for a week, for example. You've heard the term out of sight, out of mind. Well, believe that. When you're building a website for a client, stay in constant touch with them. Don't bother them and hound them, but you want to stay in a consistent kind of rhythm with them. In the event that they disappear or just stop communicating with you, you can take the necessary actions as you see fit to either get the project back on track, stop the project, etc. I'm not going to get too deep into what you should do because every situation is different, but I will say this, as a developer, you want to be in a win-win situation. You want the client to win and you want to win. And always, please remember that. Always remember that win-win situation. So you need to be somewhat in control of what you're doing, and customers actually like that. When customers pay, they don't want to be the ones always asking the questions, pointing things out. That should be you. That's your job as a developer. And take a look at our process, follow along with it, look at the caution boxes. If there's any questions that you have or comments, I would love to hear about them below. And thank you for visiting, and have a great day. Let's talk soon. Thanks.